The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more at CraigsTaxService.com. I'm Danny Brewer, and I'm feeling finer than a batch of fresh fried catfish because right now we have got the Blackman head football coach, Matt Kriesky, here with us. Coach Kriesky, how are you this morning?
Doing pretty good, doing a lot better than I was last week at this time. So it's good. You know, it's what's one thing about high school football. You know, 7 days later, you feeling totally different than what you did from the week before. But like we tell our kids all week, we were 0-0 going into the week. You know, they prepared well, and they did what we asked them to do.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about last night's football game. You're the number 4 seed going in the playoffs. Not maybe where you thought you would be, or where others thought you would be, you know, but still, you're number 4 seed. You're going to undefeated Green Hill. So you're going on the road, and you guys didn't just go in there and win. You went in there and took them behind the woodshed, because I think it was a running clock in the second half. With absolutely a we are Blackman moment for you guys?
You know, it was tight. First half is a really close game, but in the second half, I have not seen our kids play that way since I've been there. I had numerous people tell me that was the most complete game that they've seen since I've been at Blackman. Both sides of the ball, special teams. And I text our defense coordinator, Coach Crosby, late last night, and I said, I don't think I've seen the kids having that much fun during the game and on the sideline since we've been there. And you just saw something different, and hopefully this has clicked at the right time, and they realized what we've been preaching all year long about how good we can be and what we can accomplish. Hopefully that switch just finally switched over last night, because in the second half, those kids were not going to be stopped. They were going to, like I told them, that they were going to do anything and everything they could possibly do to come out with a W last night, and that's what they did. They turned it on in the second half. We did on both sides of the ball. Jonathan Hamby was 5 of 11, and 5 of those passes were touchdowns. You know, Grant Gardner had 20, I believe it was 20 carries, around 20 carries, 111 yards. He ran like an angry man, and things like that's going to happen if we're going to win games in the playoffs. And so it was very exciting, and it was fun to be a part of.
Well, Coach, you know, leading up to this football game, I just kind of have to wonder, what was the Blackman diet like all week? Because you boys were hungry. I mean, that was they sat down to the table and they doggone ate.
Yeah, you know, they knew, you know, that if they didn't come out and perform last night, that would be it. And we got a group of seniors that are really unselfish, that all they care about doing is they want to, you know, usually don't have groups that they want to be at practice. They want to practice. They want to lift weights. They want to do the film study. And, you know, it all came together last night. And, you know, like you said, man, that second half, man, they came out and played. Hats off to Coach Crosby and the defensive staff that did a great job preparing, getting those guys coached up and ready to go last night. You know, I think, you know, one of those touchdowns we gave up, you know, was off of a turnover. But other than that, I say our defense gave up 7 points. So that was real impressive coming into a Green Hill team. They got a Mr. Football candidate back there at quarterback, and I thought we did a heck of a job containing him. I believe we had 7 sacks last night. So that says a lot about our defense and what they were doing. Got to give a shout out to Coach Holman, our special teams unit. We had another block punt, or I believe 2 of them. And one for a touchdown. So we did say that during the week, if we get a not a block punt, if we score on special teams, we're going to win. And we did that. And so once we did that, you could see in the kids' eyes, like, we got this. So that was pretty exciting. And another thing, man, if you watch the last couple of weeks, I know we can bring up Coffee County, but our offensive line have made huge strides in the past 3 weeks. Man, those Molina brothers have turned it on. Hudson Lee, Kennedy Jackson, those guys are really coming together. Nehemiah coming together, playing hard. They're starting to figure it out. And then we got Grant and Jabari in the backfield getting things done, and then when we need to throw it a little bit, you got Jaden Guy out there, John Dragoo, Brylan Odor. So we got some pieces, and I think we put a couple pieces together last night. We got to keep doing it and get ready for next week.
So, Coach, when I look at that score, 45-14, the 45 is ultra impressive, but to me, what's more impressive is the 14, because Green Hill was an offensive juggernaut coming into this game. 10-0, been whooping everybody. How about the defensive effort? I mean, you got to be just beaming about that.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think one of their seven of their points was because off of a turnover, and then the other one was at the end of the half. They were going empty, going no huddle, kind of going pretty quick. Man, we had a busted coverage, and it is what it is. We had a busted coverage. Young man usually never makes a mistake like that. He did. Oh, well, we told him, move on. It is what it is. It was 17-14 and a half. I said, move on. Everything's going to be fine. And, it was in the second half. Those guys came out and played lights out.
So, if I heard you correctly, Hamby, 5 completions.
5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns. How about that? When are you ever going to see something like that where every completion goes for 6? How about that?
No. Man, you got to say a lot about that kid. He comes in, starts the first 3 games. We make a switch. Comes in last night and leads the team to a playoff victory. Not only a playoff victory against a team that's 10-0, number 1 in their region, ranked in the top 10 in the state. His first touchdown pass, we were inside, I believe, the 5 or 6 yard line. He scrambles. I thought he was going to run it. Then all of a sudden he pulls up and finds Brylan Odor wide open in the back of the end zone for a 5-6 yard touchdown pass. Man, it says a lot about the kid. A lot of kids these days, when a switch like that's made, they usually pack it up and go and either transfer, find another school to go to, or not play at all. That's not Jonathan Hamby. That's not who he is and what he's about. He stuck with us the entire time, kept working each and every week, waiting for his number to get called again. And he got called again, and he executed and did what we needed him to do last night. Like I said, 5 completions, 5 touchdown passes. He got the job done. We're really proud of him.
So what I'm listening to you talk here, there's been 2 things that really strike me. Super proud moment for you as a coach, I'm sure. The Hamby situation, and then the fact that you told your kids if we score on special teams, we're going to win. So, I mean, it's got to be, when you're right about something, man, it's got to make you feel so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's look at our schedule. Look at our season. We haven't been able to win the game, the games that we need to win to get us over the hump. And last night was the game that we have finally won that hopefully has got us over the hump and give us the confidence that we need. That's what we've been lacking, I say, is the confidence. We've been playing in so many tight games, so close games that we keep saying, well, if we'd have done this, a bunch of ifs. And I told them, we can't have a bunch of ifs after tonight, and they proved it, and it was impressive. And Archie Roseman, an entire defensive line played outstanding. Ethan Carson's banged up, and you would have thought that Ethan Carson was banged up last night. The way he played, man, he's just great kid to be around. Fun to coach, and it was really exciting.
Well, Coach, I know you're not a look at me guy, but I'm going to say this for you. Blackman football, I've seen a lot of Blackman football over the years, and the tradition there is not as storied as some schools because it's not as old, but it does have a very decorated past. Last night's victory goes in the record books as one of the greatest wins in Blackman playoff history, I will say without a doubt. That I applaud you for that, and I'm sure you have to be proud to know that you were a part of that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You're coming off what happened the week before. As me as a coach and who I am, it was tough. Tough for me to get over, but I finally had to be a man and look myself in the mirror and say it's time to move on. Because if I didn't move on, the kids wouldn't have moved on. And so we moved on. We had a great practice, and you could tell we tried to scale it back last week in practice, but you could tell these kids were angry and they were hungry, and maybe that's what we needed. We maybe needed to lose against a team in that way to maybe to get us going. And so, man, I'm super proud of these kids, the way they responded, and what they did last night. And I got to give a shout out to Mr. Lawless, man. We got administration staff that's real supportive. He came to me either Thursday or Friday, I can't remember, already talking about a second round game. Are we gonna do this? We're gonna do that. And I just kind of looked at him, and you got an administrator that has no doubt in his mind that we're going to go out and win. That's the type of support we got at Blackman High School, and man, I'm so lucky and fortunate to be a part of it.
So we got to talk about the second round game real quickly. We got to mention horse racing. There's a horse run at Del Mar today in the Cary Grant Stakes. Big City Lights. Is Richard Mandela trained? He's the morning line favorite. Is it important for your kids not to get caught up in those Big City Lights of that victory last week, because you got to go to Riverdale this week?
No, they're going to move on. They know what's at stake next. Seniors already told the seniors this will be the last time. This will be your last time you will ever play Riverdale High School ever. So how do you want to be remembered? So this. It's going to be a great game, great atmosphere. Both communities going to come out and support their team. It's going to be a hard-nosed, hard-fought football game, and it's going to be played with class.
Well, there's going to be some Big City Lights shining over, I guarantee that. Backyard brawl at Riverdale Blackman. Congratulations again, Coach Matt Kriesky, on a huge win in the first round of the playoffs.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.
Here's a question. What do you want from your electric co-op?
An app for easy payment.
Solar energy solutions.
I just want to talk to a real person when I need help.
Energy tips and low rates.
Done, 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 done.
I want to fly my car to the moon.
Houston, let's talk about electric vehicles. Energy Service Life. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. We're here to get done what matters most to you. Learn more at mte.com.
Whether you're a student, alumni, or just a fan, Raider Tees has exactly what you need to help you